Welcome to episode 10 of the Gaming Degenerates Podcast, where myself, Will,
Coleman,
I'm Ryan, sit around and talk about all things gaming related and gaming news. And last week we talked about the gaming culture on the creator side, the dev side. This week let's focus more so on like the gamers themselves, the gamer culture, and all the fucked up stuff that we have. Coleman, you want to kick it off this week?
so like fucked up stuff like pre-game chat lobbies just being like a little too toxic. Like you don't know who's who's only 15 or 12 in that chat lobby or who's a grown man. Like I don't get like you can't talk shit to people that are way younger than you and stuff like that. I don't know.
So just the pre-game lobbies, the post-game lobbies are pretty.
Post-game lobbies are pretty bad as well, but like my
Pre-game
favorite
lobbies,
part's the hot mics. Those are the best. Like
Oh,
I don't
hot
care how
mics are
toxic
great.
those are. That just makes me laugh
The
every time.
toxicity of the hot mic, yeah, is
Yeah.
up there.
So yeah, just getting it kicked off with like chat lobbies. I don't know how you guys feel about them, but
I feel like pre-game, it's like it's fine. Everyone's like joking and laughing, like they're making like your mom jokes. And
Yeah.
like, I slept with your mom. So your mom will see you later. Stuff like that. But like afterwards, like the post-match, it's like
that's when
it's like wow.
taking this game a little too
You're
seriously.
like
right
taking
now.
notes on. It's like I didn't even know that was a word. First of all, is that a curse or?
I've never heard that one before.
This 12-year-old child's making up words, and I'm taking notes.
Use that at work
I think
later.
I broke this kid. But the hot mics are definitely some of like the best part. Like
Yeah, it gives you just like a nice little like quick little break in the game. Like,
Yeah.
okay, there's a game. Somebody's having a bad time right now, and it's
Yeah.
because of me. Yeah,
I like the hot mics that are like, yeah, there's the ragey ones, but the ones that are just like completely out there. Like I found someone on TikTok, and like whenever they did a hot mic, it's like, oh yeah, butter me like a biscuit. Like if I heard that during the game, I was dying within the next 15 seconds
I'd be
because my
dead.
character just stopped. I had to process what happened, and I got shot during it.
The hamster fell off the wheel, and he died.
But yeah, definitely the hot mics are pretty good.
yeah. I'm a big fan of the hot mics, but like you said, like with the post game lobbies, I feel like that's when people need to realize like it's just a
It
video
can get
game,
kinda
and we're all
toxic.
kind of like
It's
looking
just
for an
a game,
escape. It's
right?
just a game at the end of the day. So that would be my biggest complaint about gaming culture, gamer culture from
Okay.
our side.
Toxicity during chat.
Yeah,
Got it.
Chat toxicity.
Okay. For me, one of the more recent things would be review bombing. Elden Ring is a prime example of this, where for some reason, I don't fully understand. There are some people that just create fake accounts and repost the same review in a negative light, where they hate the game for insert whatever reason, just so that the score goes down.
And there's like the lazy ones that post like the same bad review, and the review thing doesn't even catch it, just lets it go through. It's
Yeah.
like not even like same mistypings and everything.
And that gets me, because you have a lot of people that might be interested in said game, say a IGN or Kotaku or some of the other big game review companies drop their review, say, hey, this is a 9.9,
Mm-hmm.
10 out of 10, it's amazing, it's the next big thing from the
Right.
previous titles. But then you go to like Steam or wherever you're buying it from, and you see like mostly negative
player base.
the actual player base reviews, and you see like mostly negative. It's like, why is this so polar opposite? Granted, I know the big reviewers kind of tend to lean a little more favorably for the positive side, just because they get paid a little bit more based on that. But
Yeah.
if I'm seeing that and I just see the polar opposite of the gaming community reviews being absolutely negative, I might not even take a second glance at it.
Yeah, just
Just-
skip the game in
Just
general.
skip it in general. But when you have review bombers that are just plummeting game scores that are actually really good games, you're going to turn off some people.
Right. And at that point, it almost goes to like, where do you guys go for your reviews? Now I
Usually,
think
like,
about it, it's like
IGN.
you go like IGN.
Mhm. That's like my main source for like review
Okay.
of games, to be honest.
Typically,
Like IGN is probably one of the top ones up there
Yeah.
for game reviewers.
Yeah,
So,
and I
like,
mean, like other gamers, like my friends, like I'll just
Mhm.
I found out about Tiny Tina's Wonderland, which we're gonna talk about later,
Mhm.
but through you, I didn't hear about
Yeah.
that through anything else. So
typically for me, I'll usually see it pop IGN
Mhm.
pop up on Twitter or YouTube or
Mhm.
hell, even their website,
Yeah.
and it's just quick little blurb of, "Hey, here's this new game," like, or here's if it's YouTube, usually it's here's a trailer for insert whatever game coming out.
Mhm.
I'll watch the trailer and then I was like, okay, cool. That Bloodborne looks great.
Mhm.
Looks cool. I'll jot a note down to check it out personally later and do a little bit more in depth, other than just taking, IGN's review or have some friend's personal review.
Gotcha. Because I don't even look at like Steam reviews. I don't even look at those
Mhm.
because I don't trust them.
Yeah.
I had a question about Steam reviews.
Mhm.
Like, do they have a system that like detects bots?
No.
So like,
I mean,
They do, but they don't. Like
Okay.
it's not super sophisticated.
I was gonna say like part of this review bombing issue, like tinfoil hat here, but like, could it be other developing companies like just trying to bury games right before their games come out? Like I don't have any names to throw out there, but maybe.
it's like another developer trying to bomb a game to make sure that their game does better.
Yeah, so like let's say a game came out like in January and like another company's got a game coming out in March, which isn't that far away. And so
Right.
like they want to make sure that the game that came out in January doesn't get too much hype. So
Mhm.
like they try to review bomb it somehow. I don't know. Tinfoil, like I said, tinfoil hat, but like
They
could that be a problem?
It just depends on how they would go about it. Because I know Steam, their review scores aren't their bot detection service isn't as great as some
Right.
other places.
Mhm.
So like Metacritic and others tend to have a little bit higher
Mm-hmm.
to say, okay, cool, you actually put in the time. Where
Yeah.
Steam, they kind of let it free flow until it gets to an issue.
Okay.
So like
like they don't-
Bloodborne. Elden Ring was the issue where they just super massive influx of negative reviews, and then
they don't prevent the problem. They just
then
try to
they'll
stop it.
look
Yeah.
at it and be like, okay, something's wrong.
They're
Okay.
the Avengers, not pre-Avengers.
Not the
Yeah,
Avengers, yeah. You know.
They'll go through and delete like the bots that they
Mhm.
see, but what their base system is let's say you're playing Elden Ring
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and you go to make a review on it through Steam about it. Steam's going to say, hey, you have X amount of hours in this game. That takes an effect of your, you give it a good review or a bad review. Like it'll give your name, Cap Stormbreaker, positive review, and he's got a total of X amount of hours playing the game.
Okay, yeah. I see.
Where some of the bots, it's
No
this is
hours playing
negative,
the
this
game.
is dog shit, whatever. 0.0 hours played.
Mhm.
I don't know if currently they're having an issue. I was looking at, I don't remember exactly which game it was, but I was looking at a game yesterday where it had mostly positive reviews,
Mhm.
but every single review I looked at had like 0 out of 0 for time played. So I don't know if that's a current issue they're having, or
Yeah,
if it was
that just
just
signals a
that
bot.
particular game.
Hmm.
Granted, the game
That
off the
is
top of my
nice
head
that
was
they
old.
do that though,
Yeah.
so you can like tell like if somebody's reviewing a game if they've actually put in the time to see if
Yeah.
it's a good game or not.
Yeah.
I like that's a nice way to do that.
And there's a lot that you could, the people that actually play the game actually go into detail of like the positives and the negatives of it,
Mhm.
where a lot of people that don't play the game or
They focus on
They-
one
they-
side.
It's just
They-
trash talk. Yeah.
or they play like the first 30
It's
minutes.
the post-game match.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the post chat lobby just on paper.
Yeah.
They'll play the first 30 minutes and just that's it.
Yep.
Here's the quick dog shit, insert whatever
Mhm.
reason. Negative review.
And like with Steam, after you play a game for a certain amount of time, it'll pop up with like a little thing. It's like, you've played this for this many hours
Yep.
of your life. Would you like to review it? It's like some
Yeah.
games, it's like, oh wow, I've put this many hours into this game. Oh.
No. That's a topic for a different
That's another topic.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to
Um,
go into that.
So speaking of reviews, what are you guys like looking for in reviews? Like how much do you want to know about the game before you decide to buy it compared to like do you want to go in spoil free? Is it just the trailers enough for you? Do you have to see some gameplay? Do you have to understand the mechanics?
For me, it's usually like I like to watch gameplay trailers on YouTube and then maybe like one or two reviews. But if I
Okay.
tend to like get too deep into the reviews, I'll like psych myself out of buying the game, even if it's a good game or not. Like something like in my brain will just be like, yeah, some of them are bad, some of them are good, and I'll think about it too much. So
if
I
it's
tend to
too
like
much,
limit it.
so you need to like limit how much of a review you get.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like limit how much information about the game I'm taking in.
Okay.
For me, it kind of depends. It's like Tiny Tina's. I'm already going in to that game with the mindset of, okay, hey, this is Borderlands, this is 2K. The previous titles have been great. Borderlands 3 was great. I'm already going in with the mindset that just in standard, this is going to be overall a good or decent game.
Right.
So I'm kind of a little biased in that whether or not I actually look at reviews or look at some gameplay, just like, yeah, I'm going to buy that.
So it's almost like a history you have with the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if it's a brand new game, then I'll look more at some of the trailers, which trailers are trailers. They're not actual gameplay footage unless they have actual gameplay.
Cinegraphic. That word.
Got it?
Yeah, cinegraphic?
No, I don't think so. Cinematography? Maybe. I didn't hear like what you were saying in the context of it, but
Like the movie style of the game, the cutscenes and whatnot.
cinematography.
Yeah.
Cinematography, yeah.
Cinnamon be quiet and watch us go back and forth. Cinnamon.
Synonym.
Anemone.
Anemone.
But yeah, trailers are more so like the cutscenes and whatnot, like
That word, fuck it.
Cinematography.
I tend to be the person that gets more visual looks at the game and play style after looking at the trailers and then the actual gameplay footage.
Okay.
Like the reviews and certain stuff like that, I kind of just push off to the side. Maybe if something like super jumps out, but typically it's how does the game look, by the trailers and the gameplay by itself.
Even with that, like I feel like I tend to stay away from game trailers and I tend to lean more towards gameplay videos just because sometimes I feel like the trailer like it either gives you like a false idea of what you think the game's gonna be like.
It makes the game look really good.
Look awesome. It puts
cool.
it puts it up there, it only shows you the best parts. So like gameplay trailers I feel like are a really good way to kind of judge if you're gonna like the way that game plays or not. So like, that's why I'll tend to lean towards
So then
those
you're not
more.
too worried about like spoilers or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the trailers are what grab my attention.
Okay, yeah.
That's what they're for. And that's like, all right, cool. Tiny Tina's looks great. Based on that trailer, later on I'm gonna actually look at gameplay footage or if somebody's streaming it or something like that. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
That's something that really gets me is like if I have like a history with the game, I'm gonna get it. If I know I enjoyed it, I'm gonna get it. If the trailer gets my attention. But like other games, it's like I hop into streams a whole lot and that's how I get it is I see the person playing it, their enjoyment, like how much they're enjoying it, if they are enjoying it, if they're just like about it.
Suffering through it.
But it also gives me a taste of like the gameplay and kind of like what to expect out of the game.
And so like staying true to like the games that like you have background history with, like Madden and 2K that are made by the same people every year. Like so I know what those games are gonna be like. So I wouldn't even bother with like the trailers or the reviews for that kind of game. It's more so the games like Hogwarts Legacy coming out, Tiny Tina's. That's the games I would focus in on trying to find.
Not games that have like it's like Call of Duty almost fits like annuals.
Call of Duty, annual games. You don't really need to like.
It's like okay, yeah, new Call of Duty's coming out. Cool. Well, I might get it or not.
Set your watch. November.
Yeah,
it's gonna be here.
It'll be here before you know it.
Oh yeah.
Well, back to gamer culture. I think the one thing that really bugs me with gamer culture is like going after like devs, pestering devs, and then just getting into Twitter drama, not Twitter drama, Twitter drama and just bashing a game and like the player base for no reason. It's like, does that make you feel better? Do you sleep better at night from that? Or
I feel like you almost experience that more like on the Twitter side of things, being like a
Yeah.
streamer, because like you're not only have your streaming community, but you have other communities that are like, I don't know where I
People who raid you or people that you play with.
Yeah. So
might
like,
come over and talk shit because I know I'm bigger. Some of the massive gaming Twitch streamers, it's, let's say they have an 8-person, 12-person lobby of whatever they're playing. I know it's in the past it's happened where a bunch of people would go from the person they're following to somebody they're playing against or playing with and talking a whole bunch of smack just
Yeah.
because.
and that just like, it's kind of similar to like a game chat lobby. It's just like,
Yeah.
there's no need to be that toxic. We're
Yeah.
playing a game to get away from our everyday
Right.
real lives.
Yeah.
like we're all doing the same thing. We all want to play a game, enjoy it,
Mm-hmm.
and have someone to talk to while we're playing the
While we're
game
playing a game.
without having someone right here next to me. It's
Mhm.
like, if I want to play a single player game, yeah, it's fun, but I still want to be able to like talk and like have
Interact
fun
with
and like
everybody else.
Yeah.
share my passion of this game and like what it represents and like what themes it's bringing out with other people. And like the hate raids that was going on
Going
Twitch.
on Twitch
That's
for a while,
exactly
yeah.
what it was, and I couldn't remember the
Yeah.
name of it.
I
The
was
hate
like,
raids.
The hate raids, and it's like people would just get together and they would go in and just. It's bad.
Like, why? Why?
I don't know.
That doesn't make
And
any
it's-
sense into my head.
It's extremely uncomfortable as a viewer, and even more uncomfortable as like
As the streamer,
streamer.
I bet.
and like I'm lucky enough that it never happened to me.
I would have
It
knocked on
has
the
right
table.
here.
Well, I didn't want to hit the microphone.
That's
But like I've been in 2 streams where I've watched it happen, and it's just uncomfortable. And kudos to both the streamers because they handled it professionally and like they didn't let it bother them. They had a button ready to go and like it stopped chat, cleared chat. It went to like follower only mode for you had to be following for like
Certain
5
amount of
days or
time,
something.
Yeah.
there you go.
Because I have the same button set up now after that just to be safe.
That's good.
The hate raids are, I mean, they're like you said, they're uncomfortable for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
People playing the games, to people in the lobby,
Right.
and then it's even difficult for your moderators
Yeah.
Yeah.
unless you have that oh shit button ready to go. If you've got only a couple moderators and it's just
And
a
there's, like,
mile long,
And it doesn't
25
matter like
people
how
in
good
there.
the mods are, like they can get overwhelmed, they miss something.
Yeah.
And like if they miss one and it just goes and Twitch like goes and like, oh, they're promoting this, like
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're done.
it's like that's the other thing. It's like you gotta watch out for Twitch and whatnot. But yeah, the hate raids, it's like, why do we need this toxicity when all we're trying to do is enjoy a video
Play
game?
some video games. It just doesn't make any sense in my head.
Ah boy.
so on to Tiny Tina's.
Tiny Tina's.
Tiny Tina's.
Tiny Tina's comes out tomorrow.
It's like
Today,
tonight,
actually.
yeah.
Today,
excited.
as soon as I'm done with this crap here in an hour.
Oh crap! Shut it down.
Oh,
So,
Mr. optimistic over here. Can always tell he's having the time of his life.
Very small time of his life, but time of
We
his
didn't have
life.
any booze today.
The source of alcohol was missing.
Damn it, Tom.
Our dealer was gone.
Don't say that. Maybe not.
Our
that.
alcoholic dealer.
There we go. That's fine.
Jesus. Oh.
But Tiny Tina's coming out in a couple hours tomorrow. Very excited for it. Borderlands D&D looter shooter craziness.
I watched the gameplay trailer like just now. Over
Yeah.
it does look like craziness, like very fast paced, like
It's chaotic
shit, let's
great.
go. Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
So I've never played like a Borderlands game at all.
Okay.
So this will be and I plan on playing Tiny Tina's. So
Mhm.
it'll be a whole new thing for me.
So
I'm
you're
kind of
probably
excited.
going into it more so on like the D&D style side of it.
Yeah, definitely. That's
Okay.
definitely what like drew me to it. And looking for like a new shooter type of game.
Mhm.
Like I've been bored with most of the recent shooters that have
Yeah.
come out. So
Yeah, well, when you got some of the wash remixes of Call of Duty every year, they kind of get a little boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
So
Splitgate recently was a pretty good shooter. It was
I
like
didn't
super
play that.
fast paced. It's kind of like Halo, but like just a little more fast paced and go-y.
Okay.
I don't know. It was fun
Did
for
you
a
ever check
minute.
out Splitgate?
I know exactly what he's talking about, but no, never touched it.
Okay.
It's a really like simple game.
It's like that was the time of like BRs too. You had
Yeah.
like Splitgate, Hyperscape
Mhm.
came out.
Yeah.
Spellbreak. I played Spellbreak.
I never
That one
played
was
that
actually
one.
fun.
Spellbreak is interesting. It's a little more better than some of the
Yeah,
others.
that's more like magic based
Okay.
battle royale.
That'd be kinda
Shocker.
fun. Yeah, that's shocker. Fucking tiefling.
Wizard. Jesus.
One time.
Line them up.
And fire.
We can't stay on topic for Tiny Tina's at all.
No.
No. So Tiny Tina's, what class do you think about playing there?
I need notes about the classes, so let's hear it, boys.
Well, no, it doesn't matter about that. It's just you
mean-
just found out.
I know.
Yeah.
He has an
Yeah,
idea.
he's
I
got
have
an
an
idea.
idea.
I want to do a spell shot, and then later on in the game, multi-class into Graveborn, and do like spells with necromancy.
Damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
like a
Kinda
darker
cool.
style.
Yeah. Which way are you going?
Why? What were you thinking?
I was gonna say I thought it was the exact same thing I was going with for a second. I had to remember what class I was thinking of. The Clawbringer
was a good
mixed with a spell shot.
Okay.
So the Clawbringer is more like a spell shot's obvious. It's a
Yeah.
wizard with guns.
Mm-hmm.
The Clawbringer is more of a melee kind of tank, but he also has a summoned dragon.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So his special ability is to summon a dragon. Mix that up later on with a spell shot
With a
later
spell
down the
shot,
line,
yeah.
and you have a very good versatility.
Right. I thought about doing maybe like making reroll on another character because they keep, like
Backup character.
they do
So you
they
roll,
tie in like the D&D stuff.
you roll
Yeah,
for
you
your
roll.
character stats, like so you build.
Yeah, because it has like the basic stats of like D&D. So you have strength, dex, intelligence, wisdom, constitution, but instead of charisma, it's attunement.
Okay. That's gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Get my dice ready.
You don't roll in real life.
I can't
You roll in the game. Well, you could, yeah.
Come on, 20.
Because like I
That's
want
a
to do, like I kind of want to do like stuff with like D&D inspired stuff with this.
Mhm.
So I will have my dice with me, and I've got to like I'm gonna come up with like games as I play. I'm like have chat like influence me and stuff
Bad
like
decision roll.
Oh God, yeah, bad decision. You're a bad decision roll.
I've been making them this campaign, just so everybody knows.
that. You've rolled a bad decision every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, every single session, just like,
Yeah.
is he gonna die yet?
Not yet.
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
Hopefully he doesn't. Sadly, he doesn't let me do that.
I'm trucking along.
No, I need you guys all to live for a little bit. There's only like I've officially put in now there are 3 players that could die.
Damn.
One.
Why?
Sorry, he's not wrong.
I'm guessing it's all the elves.
No,
Fuck all
no.
the elves.
No, he's the only elf.
Yeah, I know. I figured out who the 3 were.
Yeah, 1,
Hurt.
2.
And I know I
I'm
can
not
only die
dying.
because it's my fault. You just had to write it because
Yeah,
like,
it's
this
only
kid's a
your fault.
dumbass is gonna die.
Well, maybe an Arya could die then too, because she's also clumsy.
She also
and
is
so if
very
she grabs the
clumsy.
wrong thing,
Of course, he
Jeez.
wants me to die for other reasons. Anyways, off topic.
what?
So,
Mine's for plot.
past Tiny Tina's.
Oh, I
And
was talking about doing a Stabomancer. I forgot.
Stabomancer. That'd be good,
Yeah,
yeah.
that one looks.
So
fun.
they had Borderlands 2? I think it was Borderlands 2.
Mm-hmm.
They had a DLC character, which was the Necromancer, which would be something kind of similar.
Yeah, there's all the classes. Like Berserker is basically your barbarian. There's the Clawbringer,
Like a cleric.
Graveborn. Yeah, that's like my thing was I see these classes and I'm like, okay, what do you go into like D&D?
What are you D&D? Obviously, you're a wizard. You're a barbarian.
Sport Warden. I think that's Druid.
Yeah.
With
I would
the
have gone more with a
mushroom.
plague doctor, but
Oh, I just saw the mushrooms and I thought of Juno.
still off on his
The
trip.
Sabamonger Mancer seems cool.
Stabamancer.
Yeah.
Stabamancer.
Rogue.
It's a rogue.
Yeah.
Stabby stab.
Yeah, but I'm definitely rolling with the spell shot to start at least. But yeah, that game looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, so definitely gonna check it out tomorrow because I'm off.
And the biggest thing with Tiny Tina's is the fact that it is cross-play, cross-plat.
That's huge.
They announced it before, like, they said they shipped off all the physical copies, and then they came out and was like, oh yeah, don't worry about what you get it for. It's cross-play, cross-plat.
So do
Which
you
is
think there's
what-
gonna be a day one patch?
I mean, possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in today's age, it's probably going to be a
mean-
day one patch.
It's more so what does the day one patch like
Look
fix
like,
and
yeah.
how big it is. Like what we talked about is like there's certain day one patches where bugs happen. Every time you do a patch, more bugs appear. It's just what happens.
Just
like
how it goes.
coding can't be perfect. Sometimes the one period in the wrong spot is
Mhm.
easy to get past.
Aliens, colonial marines. They're in the coding. There was one mistype
Mm-hmm.
that changed the AI of the aliens from normal, amazing, what they're supposed to be, to utter dog shit. I kid you not. The aliens were obviously like the movies. They're supposed to come up, attack you,
Mhm.
harass you throughout the whole game.
Right.
They come, peek at you around a corner, see you there, and then be like, "No, I'm out." And they leave. It didn't make
You
any
charge at
sense.
this is a horde of aliens running away from one person.
You're now the monster.
Yeah, pretty much. Like a year later, or something like that. Somebody found it in the coding files. Like, let's change this. Hey, it's amazing. Still not a great game, but you know, it was 10 times better. Now the aliens work the way they're supposed to.
So with crossplay and crossplat, why do you guys think that's something that's not like a standard in games?
Competition, money.
Competition money?
Yeah.
You've got your stickler holdouts. Like, I mean, you've got Sony that have their exclusives that
Mhm.
want their exclusives.
Yeah, and they're not gonna get rid of them.
And
Keep them exclusive.
actually, Tiny Tina's is one of them to an extent. So, Epic
Mm-hmm.
dished out a bunch of money so that Tiny Tina's is only released on the Epic Game Store,
Not on Steam.
not on Steam. It will be released on Steam, but probably like Borderlands 3, it will
Much later.
probably be a year
Okay.
before it's released on Steam. But at that point, it's crossplay anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And Steam usually does a good job of saying, hey, if you actually want this on our service, we're going to give you a discount.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And usually by that point, most of the DLCs are already out. So you've got the full game edition ready to go.
Okay.
But you've got those people like Epic that are like, no, we just want to be the sole owner of this,
Mhm.
at least for now. So here's millions of dollars in hopes that they'll
I mean, Epic has the money.
recoup
yeah.
all that money anyways, just on the sale of that.
Right.
Yeah.
But games like Elden Ring that drop,
Mm-hmm.
why do you think crossplay is not in that one?
That's a good question, and I think that's just like, again, back to like the money aspect. And I don't personally think that Sony wants to work with Microsoft, and I think that's the biggest issue between cross-platform right now.
Is Sony and Microsoft not
Yeah,
kind of
not wanting
getting
like,
along?
and I think personally, the way I feel about it is like Microsoft, like with their Game Pass and everything like that, like they care about gamers, and like they don't really have too many exclusives. Like for the most part,
No,
most of the
they're-
games that they make, anybody can get them.
Mm-hmm.
So like I really do feel like it's Sony just being like, well, we have a really good customer base right here, so we're just gonna keep that and we're gonna hold on to that money for as long as we can.
Okay.
At the end of the day, cash is what everybody's looking for.
So kind of like steering people in the direction of like, okay, this is crossplay. I can buy it on any platform.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to, oh, I can only play with people on this gen. Like, which one am I getting it on then?
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing.
Dude, I already said my It's your fucking turn. You're the one over just like, oh.
Yeah. Well, I'm used to going like this way. Never mind.
See, now you got nothing.
Yeah, now I got
That's what I
nothing.
thought.
Shit.
I think it's about the money, man.
About the money.
Yeah. At the end of the day, like really, that's why not everything is crossplay.
But would you think that then the Microsoft, Sony are paying them to not make it crossplay, so that way more people buy it on their console?
Potentially, like tinfoil hat,
Would
maybe.
because like the purchases of the game, would they affect more so? Obviously, you want the game to be bought. But
Yeah, so
as
I guess
for the
at the end, it
developer,
depends, like what you're saying. Like it depends on like every little gaming company is under a bigger umbrella. Like
Mhm.
everybody's owned by somebody. So
Yeah.
I guess it depends on if that trail leads to Sony or if it leads to Microsoft. If it leads, which way it leads for each game. Because like obviously, if the little company's owned by Sony, Sony could have all of the say and just be like, no, you can't make this crossplay. And then, but I don't know if any of this is true. That's just my thought process on
Okay.
how it might be going down.
right?
My thought process.
Tinfoil hat here.
It's on
Yeah.
all day long.
Just what his
Small
mind wiped.
hat.
I'm gonna make one for next week.
We believe that.
Pull it out.
Just start with it on. So then, does it come down to who owns who with Microsoft and Sony?
Yeah, I guess it would at the end of the day.
So now I kind of want to like lead the trail and see
Yeah, I could do some research and see.
like who does 2K work with the most?
See, that
Good
one's
question.
2K is more of a depends on which 2K, because there are a bunch of different
Mm-hmm.
Like off.
2K. There's like the 2K that makes the sports games, 2K that makes Borderlands. Yes, they have the 2K name. They're two totally different companies.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of the companies actually 2K. I think 2K as a whole is actually an independent. I don't think they're owned by either
I
Sony
don't
or
think they are either. So
Microsoft.
I
no.
think that's how we get games.
They
that are,
just
like put
cater
out
to both.
everywhere.
Okay.
Which
Yeah,
is
so then I
honestly
kind
the
of want to
better
look at
way to
like
do
Square Enix and
See if like they're owned by anybody
Yeah.
or anything like that. Yeah.
I
it. I feel
feel
like
like
Square Enix is owned by Sony.
Sony.
Yeah.
I thought.
And if that's good, that
'Cause that
would
makes
explain
sense.
why Marvel's Avengers. Yeah.
They get all the PlayStation gets one
All
the
the
higher player
exclusives.
base and all the exclusives on that
Mhm.
side.
Like
That
it all comes down to money. at the end of the
that
day.
is one of the also the you said exclusives. That's one of the other reasons why they don't have cross-platform. It's like Destiny 2
Mhm.
or Destiny
In
1
general.
in general.
Mm-hmm.
If you bought PlayStation, because PlayStation dished out a whole bunch of money extra to Destiny to say, hey, give us some extra stuff to try and get people to buy the PlayStation copy. So you got a couple extra unique guns that you could get.
Mm-hmm.
I believe there was like 2 whole new dungeons that you could go through that everyone else didn't have access to.
Damn.
Damn.
So if you were to do crossplay, you would have to take into account of, okay, if we do have a match, let's say between Xbox and this Sony player,
Mm-hmm.
Not
is
everybody.
that Sony player having this particular gun in this match
Right. Okay.
or in this campaign where he's going
so it's
around?
like it's
And
almost
is-
as if they release like exclusive content, you're like, okay, crossplay is never
never
coming.
coming out.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why like when they announced that Spider-Man was coming on
Mhm.
PlayStation, it's like, okay, Marvel's Avengers will never be
Never be
crossplay.
crossplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Kind of makes me wonder what exclusive content Elden Ring's getting.
That'd be interesting to know. You have it on
If any.
PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Well,
imagine
PlayStation and Xbox.
You have it on both. Big
I-
baller over here.
No.
I would imagine Elden Ring is a little
I have
different
it because of Game Share.
because Elden Ring, if they stick true with the Dark Souls,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't have any exclusive.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was just, I think for this particular one is more, they didn't go really well with the system requirements.
Okay.
So like, there's a vast difference between the Xbox console and the PlayStation's console,
Right.
where
Mhm.
it's like, this is ridiculously better than this one, so the requirements are different.
Right. And that's kind of like when they release patches, they're like, okay, here's the patch for PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. It's not, hey,
Yeah.
release a 2 gigabyte
A
patch.
patch,
Right.
yeah.
No, you guys get a gigabyte. You guys get 15. You guys get 35. It's like, what was wrong with my game? I got 35.
Why was my so bad?
They got one? I want to play that version. I can be playing right now. Hamster, run faster. Come on, AT&T.
He did.
That hamster is just spinning. He's not moving anymore. His body weight's just moving the wheel.
Right.
Centripetal force is just going.
So speaking of dead hamsters and AT&T, what about useless items in video games? I feel like it's a good transition right there.
That was good.
That's great.
That's a great transition.
Mostly because I was talking about AT&T yesterday. Now it's just like garbage.
This thing is useless.
Yeah. But useless items in video games.
Damn. Sorry. Interrupting in the studio.
Okay, sorry. We thought it was FBI about to like break us down
Bust
for the
down.
first trial of this, but no. So useless items. I'll kick it off. In Marvel's Avengers, like it's the game I put one of the most hours into. The Sacred Nornstone of Obsidian Spirit. It's a major artifact. I had to look up the name because I've never used it. I've used every major artifact except for this one because it just gives you a defense boost of 4%.
That's it.
Yeah.
Don't the
It's
other
only 4%.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's garbage.
don't the other artifacts usually give you like 2 different kinds of boosts? If I remember
It
correctly?
depends on the artifact.
Okay.
I mean, like the Nornstone of Lethal Will gives you a damage boost, plus it increases all damage boost by 4%. The Tactagon is increasing like your status damage. The Vishanti Appendix makes you go invisible while also regenerating willpower while invisible. It's like on Widow, it's very good.
Very OP, yeah.
The Komoyo Bay.
Permanent invis. God.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it can be.
That's crazy.
Jesus.
I mean, you don't even technically need that to be permanent invis, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, it just gives you a defense boost. And after they nerf the defensive comics, and then in the raid, every single piece of gear drops with resilience, which affects your defensive stat. Which is ironic because resilience used to scale. So the more resilience wasn't always better. Like eventually you had a drop off to where if you had too much resilience on the PlayStation side, it could break the game and you could have 100% shield and you could just stand there while the Super Adaptoid has 15 clones throwing their hammers and you're taking no damage.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is that fixed now?
Yeah, it's fixed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
You still
I
had
mean,
to
I'm
do
not
that.
on PlayStation, so. But yeah, that would be mine.
Okay. With mine, it's like I've got a couple badges from the 2K games that you can put on like your my player. One of them is called Slippery Off Ball, and it's like supposed to, yeah, it sounds horrible. That's the name of the badge. Look it up. I hate you both. But basically, the point of the ball is like the point of the badge is to
We're gonna
like
need a script from you going forward, just so we can redact something.
Slippery balls.
Slippery, nope.
off
nope.
ball, slippery off ball.
Slippery off the ball.
So it's basically supposed to help you like get open and stuff like that, right? So like
Okay.
it makes you slippery around the court. So like that's the point of it. But
Like you'd fall.
yeah, you
That's
would.
what the one guy with the
with the mop.
the guy with the mop. Yeah. The mop. And then we just did the hand thing. Thank God.
So yeah, basically like with that badge, it's fine. But so like the upgrade system, you can upgrade from bronze all the way to Hall of Fame, and silver is the second stat, obviously. But if you put that badge anywhere past silver, it's basically like you're wasting your badge upgrades. You should have put it on something else because past silver, that badge just doesn't add any bonus.
Scared of what he's looking up.
Slippery
Me
balls,
too.
apparently.
Me too.
Safe search was on, so it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's mine. That's just that one badge.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah,
I've got another one, but I don't
like
want to say it. I feel like I might get made fun of.
Nope.
for it.
Now you have to say it.
It's just called Set Shooter. That's a better one. I should have gone with that one first.
Not as bad as slippery off the ball.
I should have started with that
It
one.
mixes though. You got the slippery off the balls and the camera guy in the back.
He's the set shooter.
Set Shooter.
So what does set shooter do then?
That one's like it gives you a bonus towards any shot that you take that like you're standing completely still. But with the AI defense in the game, there's like hardly ever an opportunity where you're gonna be that open standing still in like just standing there.
Right.
So like
Free throws.
yeah, but it doesn't help that like because you're not jumping. It's like standing jump shots. So like
Oh, that's
yeah.
Oh.
So like
That sounds like a waste.
and there's a whole nother badge for free throws, which why would you do that anyways? But yeah, so set
In case you
shooters
want
is
to play
dumb.
Jack.
can't miss. All right.
So yeah, just those two badges. They're just like, one of them, it's like, why would you waste points upgrading it any further? And the other one's just, why would you even put it on in the first place? So they don't really need to be in the game. Yeah, try and beat slippery balls. Come on now.
I got nothing on your balls, sir. So mine is from an old obscure game.
Like that's all
Always.
I mean, a little bit, yeah, honestly.
Always.
It is the freeze gun from a game called XCOM Enforcer. Now, I gotta do a little story here because a lot of people don't know what XCOM Enforcer is. If you do, you might hate it, you might like it. I love it. The original makers of the XCOM games are essentially how you'd see like XCOM 2.
Okay.
Or XCOM Enemy Unknown. But back in the day, harder, a lot harder. Worse graphics. You know. Anyways, XCOM Enforcer was a spin-off that they tried to do where you are a robot that a scientist from Area 51 built in order to combat the aliens. This game is an action arcade shooter.
Okay.
So each mission or each level that you're on, you go through killing aliens, right? Well, you can, at the end of each mission, you get money, or research points is what they call it, to research upgrades, new weapons, things like that. One of the options is the freeze gun. Does exactly what it sounds. Freezes enemies.
Okay.
However, the premise of the game is to kill enemies. Freeze gun only freezes them. After a short delay, they unfreeze and will still attack you. It does no damage. It only temporarily freezes them. And it does nothing against bosses. So it's worthless.
So like when they're frozen, can you like punch
switch
them?
guns or like?
No, that's the other thing. Is the way the game works is you're in an open world, open level. Let's say you bought a rocket launcher upgrade and a freeze gun upgrade. You don't start with those weapons. You will find those weapons when they get dropped randomly by enemies, things you blow up. Every once in a while, a helicopter or a jet might do a hot drop in and drop an upgrade for you.
Okay.
So the upgrades are kind of random. And you will pick up a freeze gun and you have it until you run out of ammo for the freeze gun.
Oh God.
So you can't
shooting that thing.
You can't swap until you pick up something else or until you run out of ammo completely.
Oh, it like forces you like, here's a crappy gun. Use it.
Figure it out.
So if you play it the first time and you figure out that it sucks and it's worthless, you can choose to not put research points into it and not unlock it at all.
Okay.
So that's the only good thing, but
you have to know about it.
If you didn't know about that the first time, it is hot garbage.
And it sounds like it would be good. Like if I heard in a game freeze gun,
gun.
I'd be like, cool, I'm gonna freeze them and then I'm gonna punch them and they'll be gone.
Yeah,
like, it'll be that easy.
Don't have that ability. Nope.
And the whole purpose of the game is to kill, not run away.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's dumb. That's
see.
Dumb gum.
That's like something for like Alien Isolation. Use the freeze gun on him and then book it.
That would make
I might actually beat that game then.
Meow.
Unless it had limited ammo.
It was a little scary.
Well, it's like scary and the AI learns super fucking fast.
Super fast.
And like that's the first game I've rage quit on stream. I made it to like the end of the stream and I was like, all right guys, see y'all tomorrow. Off stream, I'm not fucking playing that game next week. Bullshit. Okay, I can't beat it. I don't get it. I put the difficulty down on easy. No one knows about that. Now they do. And I still was getting wrecked in it. Just absolutely. It's like, okay, let's go this way. And after I died, I'd get reset and I'd go back the same way. Whole different like
setup.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like, because he's no longer in the attic. He's now roaming the halls looking for me. Or no, he's in the locker I'm supposed to be in hiding. It's like I open it. Hi. Hi. You can't run faster than him either.
enemies in Elden Ring, no matter how far away you are from them, like if you start, like you hit them and they start coming after you, they stay right with you. The whole
Really?
time. Oh yeah.
Oh, I've escaped so many. There's only
It's like
one.
they
There's the bear, that big bear that just he stays on you like white on rice.
Yeah.
Like right, and I like. There was one time I was running away. I was like, okay, I think I'm good. Oh, it's right there. Go, Torrent. Go, go, go.
We gotta go. Keep holding my hand.
That's such a great sound. I love that. Have you ever like challenged yourselves like in a video game once you found like the most useless item or the most useless gun or whatever to like try to make it good?
Yeah, no, like you gotta
Yeah.
figure out how to get through it with just this. Like,
Right.
come on, you got this.
Like Halo 2 dual wielding the SMG and the pistol, which in my opinion are probably the two worst games because they nerfed the pistol so hard from the first one,
Mhm.
and then they give you the SMG instead of the assault rifle, which has the recoil of 100%. So
It's not a submachine gun, it's an AA gun. You're
it's
supposed to shoot down aircraft with it because all you're doing is aiming at the sky. I hate that thing. Jesus. Short controlled burst. I fired 2 bullets and I'm straight up, man.
I think I killed everyone. I have no idea. I'm still getting shot though. I see nothing. You're looking straight up. Fuck.
I'm a goddamn super soldier. Why is recoil so bad?
Right in your hand, like you can hold the gun with one hand, and it's like you're just like your arm's going crazy.
Somebody needs a fucking sling.
Right,
You're
right.
shooting that bad boy.
It's like watch out for the recoil. Oh! Wacky waveable inflatable arm man over here. Two wheel two. Oh!
These guys are wily.
But the alien's dead? No, but my
My
teammates,
teammates are gone, and they're not happy about it.
Days of friendly fire right there.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I used to do something like that in Call of Duty. I would just take the first pistol, like what in any Call of Duty, the first pistol that you have
First
unlocked,
pistol gets trash.
and then you put a red dot sight on it, and I would just try and see how far I could go, like in a match, before I would get so pissed that I'd quit. And that was always fun to me. I don't know, but yeah, I know what you're
We'll
talking
put
about.
sights on pistols?
Yeah, just for fun. Red dot sight.
Oh,
Get a little-
that's terrible.
Oh yeah.
Except
Like
for
you
like
said, you asked for a
7
challenge. Like, what
7
would you
days to
challenge
die.
yourself?
7 days makes sense.
putting a fucking 8-time scope on a revolver.
But
That's
your
great.
question was like, have you ever like challenged
Yeah, that's
yourself with
fair,
shooting
that's
weapons?
fair.
Yeah, put a red dot sight on the first pistol you unlock in Call of Duty. And
Like-
try to get like 12 kills.
And you aim down with it?
Yeah.
No, I'd never aim down with the pistol.
Yeah, no.
Well, it's because
fire.
like if that's all I'm using though, I don't
Oh,
have
that's-
another gun. Like I'm just using a pistol.
You're gonna. Oh, okay. So like distance shots, you're still like aiming.
Yeah,
down.
like I'm
I
like
got you.
trying to actively play the game of Call of Duty just with a pistol. I don't know why
trying to
it's
play
so
the-
hard.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan, have you challenged yourself to use the most useless?
I'm done sharing.
Smooth transition. Thank you for sharing. Sorry,
Not
if we were supposed to
useless.
say that. I didn't know that was one of these meetings.
Not useless, but more difficult. So Halo 2
Mhm.
actually is the first game that had in the series skulls.
Yeah.
So what I would do was I would pick up the
birthday
the
celebration.
black eye. No, yeah, I think it's the black eye skull. Where the only way to get shields is by melee killing
melee,
people,
yes.
and try beating the game like that.
Woo! You don't have to put that on any difficulty besides normal. That's still difficult.
Oh yeah.
Let's do that and put it on legendary. You let me know how that goes. I'm gonna go buy my own copy and play the game.
I'm gonna get out of this room. You better be
I'm
mad.
going home.
You, sir, are what we call a sadist because you are enjoying this pain. I feel like with like Elden Ring too, like what is it, the prisoner, or like
Yeah.
the vagabond? I can't
Prisoner's
know.
pretty tough class.
There's like one that's like completely naked.
Yeah, it's prisoner.
The prisoner.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like that's like okay. Like if you want to go into the game like hard, you pick
Do it,
that.
Pick
like,
that, yeah.
See, but that one has its drop. That one has the most positives and negatives. Negative, you don't start with anything really.
Right.
But the positive is your flat stats are higher than almost everybody else's.
That's true.
That
And I
is
think you
true.
start at level 1.
Yeah,
Well, it's supposed to be
yeah.
at level 1, but your base stats are higher.
Your base stats are like 10 or 15 or
Yeah.
something like that,
Yeah.
where everyone else starts off.
Actually, like the first one to speed run the game did a prisoner.
Yeah, because
And
the
then, like,
apostle
did it
or
in an
whatever.
hour.
I need to watch.
Prisoner.
I want to watch the speedruns.
Yeah, I do too.
It's like 30 something minutes. That's how.
That's the newest one. Yeah.
It
I don't
doesn't
even
make
know.
How do you
get there so fast.
What are you
don't
doing?
know. Breaking games. Just
That's like
Yeah, you just see them at the beginning, like dancing. It's like, what are you doing? Like, whoa, you're at market.
Yeah.
Oh, you're. Yeah.
that's part of like the gaming culture that I don't understand. It's like the speed run aspect of like long campaign games.
Well, I mean,
It's like a newer kind of trend, I feel like.
no, it's always been around.
No,
it's always been
yeah,
around.
Okay.
but now it's more so. It's like I'm breaking the game in order to speedrun it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like I don't know. The whole
And
point of
it's
the
like,
game is to
there
sit and
are-
enjoy the story.
I don't
feel
mind
like.
that because like they get enjoyment from that.
Yeah,
So if they get
that's
enjoyment
fine.
from speedrunning the game and just doing it their way, that's fine. Like
Yeah, whatever. Do you? We're
There
all
are
playing
there are
games.
two different types of speedrunners though. You have the speedrunners that break the game, where they'll find a glitch
A
or
20-minute
thing,
Elden Ring.
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
They'll find a glitch or something like that where they phase through walls or stuff like that. And then there's the traditional
face to the final boss that's already dead.
the traditional speedrunners who actually play the entirety of the game, but these are like old school classic games that usually don't have these glitches.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's speedrunners that play the first Mario or the first Resident Evil, and
Those
it's
are
just,
like
those are crazy because
Yeah.
like all right, cool, you're dodging zombies by like
Half an
hair.
inch. Yeah.
You're just like sprinting the entire time. I
That is-
love
that
the
is
Mario
crazy.
speedruns are some of the best.
Mario
speedruns.
speedruns
They
would be
are,
fun to watch.
because the amount of like muscle memory and like they're just running with like a shell and they bounce it off, catch it, throw it down,
Yeah.
do a backflip. It's like this game has backflips. It's like whoa, this is still pixelated.
Those speed runs honestly are I enjoy those better
Mhm.
than somebody glitching through a door and they're halfway across the map killing
Right,
the final
it's like-
boss.
yeah.
It's like, all right, I get
It's like that's cool, good job, but
You found it.
Yeah.
you just spent $60 to
To do that.
do that, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like if you brought joy, if that brought you joy, kudos.
Yeah,
Like,
who are we
good
to-
for you.
Yeah.
Like
I don't
if
know.
you're playing the game your way, that's your way. That's fine. If you're going around like yelling at other kids, that's not okay. Toxicity is not
Don't do
okay.
it. Don't be toxic.
Yeah, don't be toxic.
moral of today's stream: toxicity. No, don't do it.
That's going at the beginning.
Cut it around.
Alright. Have you guys ever sped run a game?
No.
No,
No. Okay, I thought you would have.
Have you?
I've attempted,
Little
but
game.
Pokemon.
Oh.
I've attempted, but there's times where I just kind of quit caring.
Yeah.
Where actually no. Metroid, the Metroid 2
Okay.
on Game Boy, because you actually had to sort of speedrun the game to get the secret ending. So Samus, fun fact, if you beat the game under a certain amount of time, I think it's 2 hours. I think we'll go with that.
Huh.
That's the first game where Samus goes back to her ship. Ship picks her up, and it's like, "Hey, good job, you completed the game." And then Samus takes off her suit, and that's the first time you realize Samus is a girl.
But you have to beat the game in 2
You
hours
have to beat the game in
see that.
under a certain amount of time in order to get that true ending.
Huh.
So for me, that would actually be my first speedrun, was
Okay.
to see that.
Any scary game I play.
Yeah, you do speedrun. You're
I'm
scary.
trying- I'm trying- I try to speedrun.
Head down, hold shift, let's go.
Except for like Resident Evil Village, I took my time.
Yeah,
That
Get
was
the
fun.
fuck out.
Summer of '58, I pushed myself through that one
I didn't
because it
see
was
play that
terrifying.
one.
It was more so like you couldn't escape and they couldn't hurt you. I don't think you could die in that game.
Just
You just had to
terror.
like you had to run. You had to look at the small creepy child and just go towards it.
you.
Yeah,
I like
and it's
that.
like as soon as I knew I couldn't die, it's like okay, just do it. Like
Just
go.
go.
Mortuary assistant. I sped run as fast as I possibly could. That's a lie. Mortuary assistant.
You're like, I can get the fuck out.
Yeah. Because I played it twice. The first time I broke it because I fell through the map. And the second time, I sped run up to the part that I was at because it has this creepy dude in the corner somewhere, and it's like the dude from my nightmares. And it's like, you're in my night terrors. I don't want you in a video game. So I sped run that. In case anyone from my chat is listening, I sped run Mortuary Assistant. No, I'm not playing that game when it fully drops. I'll play in Poppy Playtime 6 times in a row before I play that.
Oh,
Yeah,
big promises there.
that's fine. Huggy Wuggy like scared me, but
That scared you.
that's like a personal scare. That's like, okay, nope, this got too real. I have to go see my therapist now.
I gotta
Doc?
find a costume of this.
No, don't show me, please. That's all I ask. But I've always been interested. Like, I've enjoyed watching speedruns. I don't have the attention span to speedrun though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
That's fair.
I was watching like this TikTok. It's like, oh, you know what? Therapists need to watch people play video games, and that's how they diagnose them. It's like, oh yeah, you have Skyrim? Let me see your quest log. It's like, oh shit, you know I have ADD then. You completed the part where you got the open world. You have 50 quests open though.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I feel attacked.
This feels personal.
Anybody
Right.
play that game a different way though? That's how I play it.
There are people that like only did like the main story.
Mm-hmm.
See, there are also DLCs though that once you get to a certain point, they force those quests upon you, whether
They
you
do,
come
like it or
across them or
not.
not. I was like, hey, I'm just walking
Like
down
the-
this fucking road, and 8 people showed up. Like, I got a quest for you. Get out of here.
Like in order to become like a vampire or werewolf in it, you had to complete a certain amount of quests. So, like,
Okay.
There
and
were
then like you get to become either a vampire or a werewolf, and then you realize that okay, werewolves are actually better than vampires in that game.
other sections that were like you just had to be a certain level,
Mm-hmm.
and then courier would show up like, hey, I got a letter for you.
Can you help
from
me?
King of
Remember I fast travel.
something.
Here's a courier. What the? I'm done fast traveling. If you people keep sending me letters, I don't even have an address. How do you know I was going to be here? I misclicked. I was not supposed to be here.
I meant to go to the dungeon next door. Those catacombs were calling.
Oh, but I feel like that's probably a good place to stop for the week. I think we got
Yeah.
all of our topics and some good sidebars, of course.
Always.
As
usual.
Always.
I will leave links to all of our socials below, but I hope you enjoyed episode 10 of the Gaming Degenerates Podcast with myself, Cap Stormbreaker.
Coleman.
I'm Death Guard, and we will see you all next week for episode 11. Bye-bye.
See ya.